Gina here from Working in Opal Jewelry and Beads, and I'm here with another tutorial today. This one I'm calling the Lucerna Duo Rings Bracelet, and as you can see, it's a great way to use the Lucerna Bicones. A lot of us have gotten these from the $1 bead box subscription. It's a great way to use Superduos and your 3 and 4 millimeter fire polish beads. You can see this clasp here, this magnetic clasp that I'm using from bbcraft.com, and I just shared a haul with you guys on those. But there's several variations that I have here today, and I have some that I made with alternating smaller rings and larger rings. I have also a couple that feature 3 of the smaller rings on the side and then 4 of these middle rings with the Lucerna Bicones. These were a little big for my wrist. I like to have bracelets that are about 7 inches. So if you have a larger wrist, definitely you'll want to add on some more rings to the side, and that will give you some more room and comfort for the bracelet. But for this bracelet today, we'll be doing this exact blue one right here, and you can see that I did 1, 2, 3, 4 inner rings with the bicones, and then I did 2 smaller rings on each side. So it will at least get you started on the process for how you make this particular pattern. This was just a pattern I came up with on my own after playing with my beads. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope it's easy for you to follow. And without further ado, let's get started. To make the 7-inch bracelet that you see here, you will need the following items: 21 6mm Lucerna Bicones, 64 Superduos, 16 4mm fire polish beads, 48 3mm fire polish beads. You'll need 11 seed beads, 2 wire guardians, jump rings, a clasp of your choice, approximately 9 feet of 6-pound Fireline or the beading thread of your choice, a beading needle, jewelry pliers, and scissors. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make this center ring of this first ring on the bracelet, and by doing that we're going to pick up a Superduo, a 3mm, a Superduo, a 3mm, a third Superduo, a 3mm, and we're going to alternate that 6 times. So you're going to want to have 6 Superduos and 6 3mm that you're going to string. And I need one more. So it will look like this, and then you're going to pull that down your needle, and you're going to leave about a 6-inch tail at the end. Just like that, and you're going to go back through all of those beads, and it's going to make a little loop or a ring of beads. Okay. To complete the ring, you want to go through the same hole of that Superduo that you started with. Just like that. So this is what you should have on your needle, is something like this. Now we're going to be going the opposite direction. So here's my tail thread, and here's my working thread coming out of the Superduo. We're going to go back through the Superduo in the opposite direction, and we're going to make an outer ring around this inner ring. So go through that Superduo through the other hole, and then you're going to be picking up a seed bead, a 4mm, and a seed bead, just like that, and you're going to be going through the next Superduo, the hole that you haven't gone through yet. So you should have that. Now repeat that same step, so pick up a seed bead, a 4mm, and a seed bead, and you're going to go through the next Superduo that you get to, which is right here, just like that. And complete the same steps. Okay, now that you're right here, we're going to be adding on our wire guardian if you have one. This is where you're going to be putting your clasp on this end of the bracelet. So to do that, I'm going to be stringing on 2 seed beads and then my wire guardian, which I'm going to string through there. I'm going to pull it down like that, and then I'm going to go through the other hole of my wire guardian. These are so wonderful because they really protect the thread and keep your piece so nice and strong, because the clasp is not pulling on string, it's pulling on the wire guardian. So then I'm going to put on 2 more seed beads and then go through the next Superduo bead, continuing that outer loop. Okay, and then we're going to do what we did before, which was do a seed bead, a 4mm, and a seed bead, going through the next Superduo that we get to, that outer hole, like that. And we're going to do that one more time. So a seed bead, a 4mm, and a seed bead. And we're going to go through that next Superduo to complete the outer ring, just like that. Now, to make this piece nice and secure, I do suggest going through this outer ring 2 or 3 times. So I'm going to go through all these beads again. And that's just going to make this bracelet even more secure. Alright, so when you have your first ring completed, you're ready to start your next one. we're going to be coming out of this seed bead here down at the bottom. You're going to pick up another Superduo bead. And I'm going to set this down so I can pull it like I need to. And you're going to pull that Superduo all the way down and just get it into position. It's going to be wrapping around these beads right here, the seed beads in the 4mm. So you're coming out of this hole here, and you're going to go up through the other hole right here. If I can get it to focus. Just like that. So you're going to pull your needle, get your Superduo to sit just like that, and you're going to string on another 3mm and another Superduo. And kind of get your Superduo to sit in place. Like I said, it's going to be kind of wrapping around this 4mm. You're coming out of the hole over here on the right. You're going to be going down the hole on the left. Okay, so you're going to be going down the other hole. And then you're also going to be going down the seed bead, the 4mm, and the seed bead. Just like that. And pull that nice and snug. And I cannot wait to get the tail thread out of the way. So you're coming down out of this seed bead here. You're going to actually go through that Superduo below it as well. Just like that. And then you're going to go up the other hole in your Superduo, up through the 3mm that you just put on, and up through the outer hole of the next Superduo up there at the top. And then you're going to continue on to make the inner circle of your next ring. Now before I do that, I'm actually going to put a needle onto this tail thread, and I'm going to make a half hitch knot where it's coming out, and I'm going to go through a couple more beads. I'm going to make another half hitch knot, go through a couple more beads, and so on until my tail thread is too short and won't continue on through any more beads. That way it'll get rid of the tail thread and I won't be fighting with it through the tutorial and it won't get in the way. Okay, that feels a lot better. I have the tail thread woven in. We're coming out of the bottom of this Superduo and we're ready to make our next inner ring. So we want to string on a succession of 3mm in Superduo so that we have 5 3mm and 4 Superduos on our needle. So just Superduo 3mm, Superduo 3mm, and so on. Till you have this pattern right here. And we're going to be going down through this Superduo and the next 3mm and the next Superduo right through the opposite end of where we are coming out right now. And that's going to make our next inner ring right next to our first ring. Okay, just like that. So we're coming out of this hole here. We're actually going to be going back up through the hole next to it on that same Superduo. So go up through that hole, go up also through the seed bead, the 4mm, and the seed bead right there. and then go up through that hole that you get to there, right above on that Superduo. Okay, now you're ready to continue the pattern like we did on the first ring. We're going to do seed bead, 4mm seed bead. We're going to do this twice. Now go through the next Superduo that you get to, that open hole. Okay, and again, seed bead, 4mm seed bead, and go through the next Superduo that you get to, the outer hole, just like that. And now we're ready to put on our first bicone. So the bicone is going to go in that next open space. So string that on and then go through your next Superduo. And that's going to pop right into place there. And now we need to do 2 more successions of seed bead, 4mm seed bead. Putting those in those next 2 open spaces. Just like that. And now with this last one, so you're going to go back through the Superduo and again through the seed bead, 4mm seed bead, and just go through as many as you can at once. If you can only get through one at a time, that's okay. So I'm going back up through seed bead, 4mm seed bead. And you'll notice with this pattern, we'll be going through beads multiple times, and that's okay. That's just going to reinforce our bracelet even more. So we're coming out of this seed bead. I'm going to go up through the next Superduo and continue around my ring until I get to this Lucerna bicone. So just get through as many beads at once as you can, as your beads cooperate. And just keep going. We're almost to that bicone. And we're actually going to go through the bicone. So we're coming out the bottom. Once you're here, you want to string on another Superduo. I'm going to set my piece down so I can pull it down there and get it into position. So the Superduo is going to kind of hug around the bicone. So we're coming down out of this hole here on the left. We want to be going back up through the hole on the right. And then just give it a good pull like that. So you can see it's starting to hug around. So we went down through that hole, back up through this hole. We're going to put on another 3mm and put on another Superduo and pull those down and just get these into place. Again, it's just going to hug around the bicone. We're coming out of this hole on the right. We're going to go down through the hole on the left and then down through the bicone. Okay, now go through the Superduo at the bottom as well, right down there. Pull this nice and tight, and then go back up through the next hole of that Superduo, as well as the 3mm in the Superduo that you just put on. And again, pull it nice and tight. And now you're ready to make your next inner ring of your bracelet, which will be this one right here. So you'll string on a 3mm, a Superduo, a 3mm, a Superduo, till you have 5 3mm and 4 Superduos on your needle. Just like that. And you want to go back through the Superduo, 3mm Superduo, the opposite way of where you're coming out there at the top to make another ring. Just like that. And like we did before, we're coming up out of this Superduo hole, we're going to go down through the other hole on that same bead. And it may not cooperate for you to do more than one bead at a time, so we'll get started with that. Then you go through the bicone, and then you'll go through that hole of that Superduo bead right below it as well. So you'll be coming out right here, and you're ready to make your outer loop. So we're just going to fill that in with bicones. So pick up a bicone and go through the empty hole of the next Superduo. And that fills in that little space. We're going to do that all the way around. Okay, and then when you get back to the beginning, you're going to go back through the outer hole of that Superduo there. Follow your thread path, go through the next bicone. That's right there in the middle. Go through the next Superduo as well as the next bicone. And you're going to be putting on the little Superduos that are on the edges there next. So we're just continuing on until we get to the point where we're going to be adding that little embellishment, which is right about this point. So right here we want to add a Superduo, a seed bead, and a Superduo. And we're going to skip over this bead and go right through that Lucerna bicone and pull. And you can see when we do that, it adds this little peak right here. And then continue on till you get to the top area where you're also going to be placing a peak. So just continue through your Superduos and your bicones until you get to the opposite side, which is right up here. And I'm coming out of this bicone, and we're going to pick up a Superduo, a seed bead, and a Superduo. We're going to skip over this bead and just go right through that next Lucerna bicone. And it's going to pop those beads into place and make our little peak on the top, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to continue back down through the thread path, through this Superduo here, through the bicone, and just continue around till you get back over to this side. And like I said, going through these beads again only serves to make this bracelet even stronger, so it's actually a good thing. Okay, so just keep going till you are coming up and out of this bicone on the very end. At this point you're ready to pick up another Superduo and pull it down. Just like that, and kind of put it into position. You're coming out of this left side hole and you're going to be going down the right side hole. And it's going to hug that bicone just like we did before. Just pull it like that. So we went up through that hole on the left, then down through the hole on the right, and we're going to pick up a 3mm and another Superduo. Pull those down and get them in position like that. We're coming down out of this hole. We're going to go back up through the hole on the left, back up through that Lucerna bicone. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And then we'll go back up that Superduo as well. Pull it snug. And then go down through the next hole on that same bead, as well as down through the 3mm and down through the Superduo right there. And we're in position to make the inner ring of our next circle. So just like we did before, I'm going to be stringing on 5 3mm and 4 Superduos alternating. So you have something like that. And then going through the opposite side, go through the Superduo 3mm and Superduo, and that's going to make our inner ring. So same steps as we did before. We're coming down out of the Superduo. We're going to go back up through the hole next to it on the same bead. Going to also go through that bicone. And also up through that Superduo, and we're in position to make the outer loop. And that outer loop consists of our bicones that we're going to fill in. Just go through the next Superduo, just like we did before. All the way around, and then getting back to where we started, we're just going to go through the Superduo here, through the bicone, through the Superduo. We're just getting ourselves in position to make those little peaks on the top and bottom of our loop, just like we did right here and right here. So just continue on. We'll pick up a Superduo seed bead, and a Superduo. Go through the next Bicone, skipping over that Superduo here, and it just pops them right into place. And then follow the thread path going down through the Superduo, Bicone, so on and so forth till you get to the opposite side. And then pick up the Superduo, seed bead, and Superduo again, skipping this Superduo and just going straight through to the next Bicone, and popping those into place just like that. And now you're just going to keep going around, following the thread path just like you did before, until you end up coming out of this bead, this Bicone on the side, and then you're going to continue to make your next inner loop followed by the outer loop and so on. So we're actually going to do a total of this central ring with the Lucerna Bicones 4 times. So do this 2 more times, making a total of 4 of this style ring, and then we'll meet back and we will finish up our bracelet by finishing up the 2 final outer or 2 last rings on our bracelet, and then adding our clasps. Alright, so if you've made it this far, you have your 2 loops that are on the left side, the smaller ones. You have your 4 central loops, and you're ready to make your last 2 loops and then attach your clasp. So if you're coming out of the top of this Bicone on the side, you're ready to put on another one of your Superduo beads and do like what we did before, which was come out of the top of the left hole and then go down through the right hole. And that's again gonna just kind of hug around the Bicone. And you're ready to string on a 3mm and another Superduo. So you're coming out of this right hand hole of your Superduo and you're gonna go up through the hole that's right on the left and then back up the Bicone, just like that. And pull it nice and tight, and then also go up through the left hole of that Superduo and then down through the hole on the right of the same bead, down through the 3mm and down through the next Superduo, which will get you into position to create your next inner loop of your smaller circle. So just like we did before, you want a succession of 3mm and Superduo beads so that you have 5 3mm and 4 Superduo beads on your needle. Okay, and then you're ready to go through the opposite side of where you're coming out, going through that Superduo bead, the 3mm, and the next Superduo bead. And that creates your inner loop. And you're going to go through the whole of that Superduo bead right next to where you're coming out of to start going in the opposite direction. Go up through the Bicone, up through the next Superduo, just like that, and you're ready to make your outer loop. So just like we did before, you're going to be doing a seed bead, 4mm seed bead, going right to the next outer hole on that Superduo right there, filling in the gap. And you're going to keep filling in those gaps with the same pattern. You're going to do that all the way around. Okay, and then just like we did before, when closing up one of the circles, we'd finish by going through that Superduo. We're going to go through this Bicone, up through the next Superduo, and continue around our thread path till we get to this 4mm bead right here on the edge. So just keep going. It may be a little tricky to get through those beads depending on the angle, but just go through one at a time if you need to. Okay, and then finish by going through the 4mm and a seed bead that's at the top. And then it's time to add another Superduo. Pull it down, get it into position so that you're coming up out of the hole on the left, and you're going to go down through the hole on the right. Okay, and then you want to string on a 3mm and another Superduo. Coming down through the hole on the right, you're going to go up through the hole on the left, also up through the seed bead and the 4mm and the next seed bead. Just like that, and then you're also going to go up through that Superduo on the left hole and then down through the right hole, as well as the 3mm and the Superduo at the bottom. Pull that nice and tight. You should have what looks like this, and you're in your position to make your very last inner loop of your last circle. So like we did before, I'm going to string on our alternating 3mm and Superduos. So that we have 5 3mm and 4 Superduos on our needle. Like that. And just go back around through the opposite side of those 3 beads. And there we have our inner loop, and we're going to want to go the opposite direction, so we're going to go back up through the hole next to us on that same Superduo bead, up through the seed bead, 4mm seed bead, up through that Superduo hole right there that we get to next. And for the next 2 open segments, we're going to string on seed bead, 4mm seed bead, go through the next Superduo right there. We'll do that again. And then once we get to this 3rd open space, which is right on the end, that's where we want to put on our next wire guardian. So you'll put on 2 seed beads and string on your wire guardian. like that, pull it down, and then go through the other hole of the wire guardian, like that. String on 2 more seed beads, and then go through the next Superduo bead, the outer hole, and continue the pattern that we were doing before. So again, seed bead, 4mm seed bead, through the next Superduo, and we just have one more to do. Seed bead, 4mm seed bead, and finally going up through this next Superduo that we get to, and then going up through the seed bead, 4mm seed bead, pulling this nice and tight, and we are done stringing our beads. So at this point we can make a couple of like little half-hitch knots, go through some beads, and so forth in order to finalize our piece. I'm going to go through another couple of beads following the thread path that we've set up. Okay, so I'm going to make my first little knot right here. Actually, let me go through one more seed bead, put me in a better spot. I'm going to just go under the thread right there with my needle, make a little loop, and then come back around through the loop and pull. Then I'm going to go through 2 more beads. I'm going to go under that thread to make a little loop, take my needle, go through that loop, and pull. I'm going to keep going through a couple more beads, do that again. Okay, and I'm going to go through this end of my bracelet a couple more times just to make sure it is extra secure. And then I'll come back and we'll attach our jump rings and our clasp. Alright, our thread is all nice and tied off and tucked in. And I'm going to attach 2 jump rings, I think, to each side because that will make for the best fit for my wrist. And then we'll attach our clasp. So I'm just splitting those rings open, twisting them to the side like that. Actually, let me add this one on before I close this. Okay. And then to this outer jump ring, I'm going to attach this side of this magnetic clasp, which this clasp is from bbcraft.com. I just recently did a haul on some of the findings they sent me. You can find this type of clasp on their website if you're interested. And this end of this jump ring is going through this side, just like that. So here's our finished bracelet. I love this magnetic clasp. It is so convenient. I love how the bracelet came out. I hope you guys do too. Just going to close this up, see how it works. Beautiful. So I love this design. It's a lot of fun to make. It's a great way to use those Superduos, those Lucerna Bicones, the fire polish beads, so many beads that we get, for example, on the Dollar Bead Box website. Love this magnetic clasp that's from bbcraft.com. It's awesome. Nice and tight and secure. I don't feel like it's going to be falling off easily at all. I'd have to really pull on it in order for it to come off. I love how this fits. So I hope you guys love your bracelets too. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it was easy for you to follow. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below in the comments section. And I am so glad that you were with me today on this tutorial, and I hope to see you very soon on my next video. Bye guys! If you enjoyed this video, I'd love you to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to see more of my videos, and check out the video description section to follow along on all of my social media handles, visit my Etsy shop, and check out my new website and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching!